Is this one we have the mission for? I think it is. GS2, actually. You guys see a GS2? I don't. I like how the operating cost for this one is actually coal, which is interesting. You know what? I'm just going to buy this one. There. And wagon, your job is to pick up more coal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your orders will be to go to station 11. Oops. Wait until full. And then you're going to drop this off at this tool works over here. And go ahead. Should be fine as long as there's no train over here. Leaving this depot is a little bit wonky. Although I suppose one of the things to avoid some of the issues with this depot and getting complaints is we'll explicitly put a signal there. Check on your passenger train. Again, renaming these trains will be very important later on. So he's fine. Doesn't have a full load of passengers. Oh, because we actually ate a lot of the passengers here. Now, what we should do is upgrade this station. So, because what we can do is, if we extend the platform, we can extend some of the range, I guess. Well, that's already being covered now. I guess one of the things to do might be extend the platform out and then put, like, the waiting room further away. I don't know. I don't think that actually did anything, actually. Well, you know what? We've got most of the town covered here. It's fine. We could put down some restaurants and stuff for more money. Not that the money situation's bad right now. We ate passengers. Are we still playing Frostpunk? This one's got tons of passengers and tons of mail. It's actually capped at 1,000 per. Let's get a restaurant. The income might be based on delivery, so we almost want the passengers somewhere, or like the restaurant somewhere else. We could actually fit more cars on here as well, but see, our money's good. And there's mail here. There's a post office in Gloucester. Yeah, we are accumulating it. There's a post here, but it's not within reach. And I don't know what to do about that. Now, one thing to note, you can build roads. I don't think that does anything right now in the current build. So, unless we build a second station, I don't think we get the post. And if you guys have a solution for that, let me know, but I'm not sure that I've got one. So, right now... Ooh, you have stopped at a signal for a long time? Oh, no, you're good. That might have been when you spawned. Oh, you also had to do a bit of a 360 to get in here in the first place. That might have confused this train. It's entirely possible. Yeah, extend the platform with the train station platform. I mean, that's sort of what I was thinking, but I don't see an easy or good way to do that. It's not Gloucester, it's this one. Right, so... like, what do I do? Like, wrap all the way around the city? Bulldoze roads to go here? Upgrade the depots for better trains. Oh, okay, we'll do that after. Yeah, I think without another station here, it won't really work out. So I think I'd rather find another town. Dudley doesn't have a lot of people, but it does have a post office. Oh, you know what? Blackpool. It's got a good amount of people, although they're spread out awkwardly. We'll set up a station near the post office. And what we'll maybe do is leave more room for the platform stuff as well. Right? If I go and station... say like this. It's just experimenting. We're finding out. And then I say platform. Oh, station is too large. So I actually can't go outside of the bounds. I can go that way, but I can't go back. Still, this will get the post office. Not much in the way of houses, though. I think signal boxes allow you to extend the station. Oh. Oh, I don't have the wood for it, but okay. Anyway, we've got mail. We'll take another look at that later on then. Clearly, have to get a lot more log deliveries here because we need a ton more wood tokens for stuff. Can you just go around the forest, man? It's fine. Here, go here. Right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our first sort of like dual track. So this one's going to be allowed to go in either direction. And either direction. So only one train can be in this block at a time. You can dual lane over here, dual lane over here. Here you have to pick a direction. And what I want to do, I got money, yeah, I got money, is add an extra bit over here. That's going to be fine. I think I'm going to have to flatten this. So what I'm thinking is a cross. Okay, so only one train can be in this cross over here. And when you go here, it's one way. But a train coming this way can go and choose which of these two platforms to stop in. And then when it leaves, if it's leaving this way, it's going to have to go from either platform, go on here, and do the one-way thing. And then here we're just going to do one lane for now, although it'll probably get increased to something else later on. Okay. So, now from this depot over here, we're going to add a new engine. I'll use this one. We'll do mixed stuff. We'll do, ooh. And we're a little short on logs, but let's get a second-class passenger station, or a car, and a couple of mail things. Also, because otherwise we get weird, whiny complaints, I'm going to put in a little signal over here for the depot, so things can wait there. It's going to be okay. So your orders are going to be, well, we may as well start you off in Gloucester, because it's the closest. And then you're going to go to Blackpool. You don't have to wait for a full load on either side. It's going to be okay. So if I tell you to start now, you should be okay, because you're going to go up to the signal and then stop. Because this block is occupado. And yeah, I would say we're probably going to want another passenger train or something going on, but we'll see. So, oh, you... yeah, there's no other signals here, so this stays blocking. So let's just put a signal there for now. Even though this won't support multiple trains. But for now, it's going to help out with anything coming through there. So you're stopping in Gloucester, you're picking up a full load of everything, and you're going to go into the correct lane and go over there. Okay. I think we're starting to get slightly more sophisticated with our routing now. And you're going to go that way, and you're going to end up in Blackpool. Blackpool's the thing that does like the cool lighting display every year, right? Does adding that station platform get merged with the existing? As far as we know, it looks, because it doesn't put a new tag, and we've confirmed things otherwise, it is one giant station. It is one giant station when you build the second station next to the existing one, they do get merged together. So you're delivering things and doing that. Hey, that's wonderful. Can we extend the post office? No. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we need crazy amounts more timber. Or like lumber tokens. I think we have... One of our trains, I think, is using lumber as an upkeep as part of it. We clearly have a giant backlog of stuff over here. We could add a second train. This process is a lot. I don't know. I think what I'm interested in do is start grabbing stuff from the forest near Blackpool here, because it actually doesn't have a huge backlog of actual logs. So I'm going to extend this station. We may not need it, but now there's going to be 3 trains coming in and out from time to time over here, so actually I will extend it. Because these two occasionally wait for one another, which is hardly the end of the world, but could be better. Station. Excellent. You actually don't need any signaling, although how are we going to get a train here? I'll just be lazy and build another depot over here, although I should really do something more better later on, but it's going to be fine. And we're going to want one of our depots upgraded to like the latest, greatest hot stuff. You just be a low-end porter. It's going to be cheap as hell. That's going to be okay. You're going to grab 1, 2, 3 of those. I will give you an explicit set of orders because you're going to go here, wait until full, then you're going to go here. That must have been what happened last time. I must have been trying to click on a station and I clicked on a train and then it copied things. And you're just going to go and do that. So we'll get more boards. So we'll get more board tokens. Plus just keep this industry going. Dedicated lumber token generator. Yep. That's a good way to word it, actually. And you're not quite creating logs at the right rate, so we're going to go ahead and spend that for a tree nursery. And hopefully that will be enough to completely supply the 4 to 2. It's probably going to be pretty decent. So you got your own very dedicated platform over here, which actually for an industrial kind of setup makes a half-decent amount of sense. I'm just going to confirm that in the amount of time it takes a round trip, we've got at least 42 logs waiting here. Not quite. So actually it is worth upgrading the forest. It's damn close. There's very little waiting. And the next extension does require us to spend a lot of logging tokens. Although, oh, maybe we'll take clearing, because it's only coal tokens. We have a crazy amount of those. So there we go. So now we've got 3 processes generating logs. There. Excellent. Better. And yeah, I think I agree. You probably can put another thing there. What's going to happen is we're going to check the lengths at some point. It looks like you can do 7 of the short vehicles in the maximum station length, which is 6 squares. You can fit 7 of the cars, which I guess including the locomotive is maybe 6 tiles long, like 8 tiles long. I don't know, it's hard to say, but it looks like the short ones we can definitely do 7 in the future if we want a full load. I think 8 is too much. I bet you. I just realized, I bet you when you try to set up a train, it probably... Oh, I failed the deforestation. I wonder how many actually delivered. That's super disappointing. Anyway, we're going to go here. This is going to be our primary depot once we actually get this shit organized later on. Let's pretend. So, we're going to add a locomotive work over here. Boom. So now... you have access to, wow, a lot more trains, including the GS2, which is very expensive, needs a lot of coal tokens, and spends coal tokens, but is very powerful and very fast. Okay, we still have to buy one at some point for a quest. We'll just have to figure out what we want to do with it first. Maybe a dedicated train between Gloucester and Stoke, because there's a lot of passengers in both. Let's dual lane this area up. Which is going to be slightly awkward. We'll have to make a little bit of an adjustment. Actually, this iron ore mine is kind of in the way. Although, okay, clearly we're doing this. We're actually going to move the other lane over here. That's going to make a lot more sense. So you are actually doing that. And you are going to do that. Factorio trying to delete some of those random things every now and again. Let me pause the game, because otherwise we're probably going to have some sort of horrible disaster coming along. So we're going to do that. And then crisscross is going to make you jump, jump. I'm probably going to make that joke every single time, by the way. I know it's the first time, but that's forever. So you're going that way. You are going in that direction. Lovely. You know what? We'll just... may want a way to leave the station going in the opposite direction. We might want some turnarounds, different things. There's all kinds of different stuff. Like, we might want to be able to enter the station from different ways. Maybe I should have moved this depot. We'll figure it out later. It's fine. Okay, so now that we've got that, let me move this train out of the way. Okay. And we don't need the second station here right now, the second platform yet. And really, we don't want trains to have to go through stations. We're going to want to bypass later on. Because right now, a train can't go through a station if all the platforms are full, but I guess it's not the end of the world. This is wonky as fuck. Can you get down here? Yeah. I wasn't happy about the... I think that got like mostly automatically placed before, and I wasn't 100% keen on it at the time. I think it's better to go down this thing straight. There we go. And then assume we were going to want something. Wow, we got into like some funky music going on all of a sudden. And this will be doing something. We don't know what. You're going to want a signal there. Followed by a crisscross. Going to make you jump, jump. I might need to start a little further back. Actually, let me start from here. That's not connecting. I guess we'll do that. Which is fine. It just means we have to put the signals a little further back, but that's okay. One way. And then this just ends here for now, which is okay. This station should be fully functional. Oh, we're also going to want a set of signals here, followed by another crisscross. Jump, jump. Cool. I think this is good. This will be doing something we don't know what. It's quill coding. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, you know, sometimes I do things and, you know, it leaves, like, mistakes and things that have to be corrected later. But, like, 9 times out of 10, it's just better to, like, okay, let's just move on. We'll figure out what this is going to connect to and how it's going to work later on. Let's keep moving and keep going fast. Make sure that shit happens. Okay, so let's make a new passenger train. You are going to use this thing that we have the quest for, the GS2. Boom, completing a quest. We are going to throw some wagons. Only has to be passenger wagons on here. Ooh, we got first-class wagons! And dining cars, 25% more income. Okay, dining car. Oh, we need steel for that. Never mind. So, this has reduced capacity. It only carries 14 people, and it's a hell of a lot heavier. There's no indication that this is any more valuable in terms of passenger delivery. You know what I mean? Like, the second class... Okay. I mean, the coach, it's even shorter. Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you not just build the coach cars? They do take a lot of money. Does Station 1 need a crisscross to the other side as well? Yes. I believe it might. We'll double check that. Whatever, man. This is going to be a cool train. Let's just put a... Actually, can I undo? Maybe not. Tell you what, we'll leave the first class car unattached. We'll have one first class, 1 second class, and 1 coach. Must be some perk to first class. It might not be implemented. This is still really early on. So this train, I'm not going to send it to Gloucester first because, like, we don't actually have the routing for that. We're going to have to figure out exactly what we want to do later. But your job is, you're going to be an express from Stoke to Gloucester. Done. You could wait for full. No, it's going to be fine. You get started. No, we have a. So, oh, Station 1 needs a crisscross on the other side. Yes, it does. Let's pause. Keep a pause here. I was going to say it's going to be a little bit awkward to do this. There we are. You're going to go there. Which actually shows that we have a redundant piece of track here. There we go. But this, I believe, will work. Because of the hill, it's not, like, symmetrical, but... There we go. Both directions, and we can come in from either thing. And we've got that. I think we're okay. We'll see. We got a reward of some lumber tokens. Excellent. Train 14. And yeah, we'll try to add the dining later as well. But clearly we need to get our steel smelting going on. Because I want to be able to use all them upgrades. Fill up in Stoke. Go the other way. It'll be interesting. I bet you it doesn't bypass the station, although if there's a train there. We can have another signal right here. Which, in preparation for the future, can just be a two-way signal, although there's no way a train will ever end up going in the opposite direction on this. But yeah, because there was no reason for this train to stop. Well, didn't have to stop there. It would have had to stop by the crisscross. If we had access to chain signals in this game, like you do in some other games, then we would be able to have trains going in both directions through this crisscross. If you didn't actually have the crisscross, I suppose we could. We could potentially. I don't know if there's room for it. We can actually put signals here and here. And trains might actually be able to pass each other if no one's interested in crisscrossing. Yeah, I know. House Spawn is very cool. I know, we're getting warnings about some trains. Okay. Pause. You. Reverse. Oh, why did they crash? It's like, I'm going to reverse you first, then move you. But yeah, we can't have a signal here. But that's true, huh? So the same thing can happen here. If both of these platforms are full... If both these platforms are full and another train is coming this way, he's going to go and just butt up next to a platform and things might get stuck. I can't just remove these signals, though. Because then what'll happen is... Well, I mean, unless I'm wrong about how the station platforms work, then what'll happen is I think only one will get used at a time. Maybe not. Maybe they're... Are they smart enough? If I got rid of these two... and presumably the ones on the other side, would they be smart enough to just route into things? It depends on whether or not there's an internal signal for these platforms. Crisscross at Station 1, missing straight rail. Like this one here. Because if you're leaving this way, you can go up or down. If you're coming this way, you can go through either way. Or straight through. Don't put a signal next to... So I guess the question is, how do the stations work? The thing is, before, we were finding out the stations do not separate track into blocks. And yeah, there's lots of settings. You can stop the train reversing if you don't want it. I just left everything as a default. Well, I guess what we need to do is we sort of need to overload the Gloucester station and see what's what. Alright, well. Let's create... We have lots of money, we still have lots of money. Let's make a GS2. Give it a first class. And a second class. Your orders are... Go Station 3. Go Station 2. I'm going to now create a second engine. That's the same thing. First class, second class. And your orders are going to be the same. I don't think I can easily copy here, so I'll just manually do that. We're going to launch them both and then C. You might wait there just because we need more signals along the way, but that's alright. You're going to start going now that you're through here. Yeah, so one of the things, too, still, is if we feel that these signals are incorrect, then we're going to get rid of them in all these places and see what happens. I don't know how I feel about this, but we'll see. Yeah, see, this whole thing is one giant block. I think we might still want the signals here. Yeah, so there is this. I suppose I can put one-way signals here. Okay, I think we clearly need signals on the crosses of the X's. They can both be on the same side. It actually doesn't matter. In fact, if I had them here and here, that would be bad and wrong. I see you're still not pleased because there's overlap. Now, maybe that's just because I didn't leave things long enough. Interesting enough, if you tried to go straight, you would have been okay. Okay, I'm just going to tell this one to ignore the next signal. Because that'll just free that up. So yeah, we might just need to put in more space here. Connect two cities with rails. Warwick and Bedford. Uh-huh. Oh! You also need some one-way... And this is going to be an actual platform. Tell you what, even though I don't need it right now, let's officially make this another platform. Because otherwise it feels like trains are using the wrong way. But platforms, like these types of stations, don't really have directions on their platforms. I mean, I suppose we couldn't force that, but then you'd need twice as many platforms for everything, right? Are trains in this game left-handed as a preference? Oh, there's something else I'm going to do. I'm going to go and add some extra signals here. That way, trains don't have to stop quite as far away. Okay, these signals are not doing what I want. Because there's something wonky with these blocks. I think they might be looping. Station 1 right side is messed up. I mean, it doesn't look like an equal X, but it should work. Yeah, it's blocking itself is what was going on there. Maybe I'll redesign it for a full X, but let's just remove it for now. Okay, what I want to do is I want to get this train to arrive here. And then stop. See how this signal is blocking? So if some other train, when the other train gets here, it's going to stop here and then not move anymore. And that's what I was hoping to avoid. Like, so, clearly these stations... These stations don't have signals built in. So I have to put a stop, like I was doing before. I was right. I have to put stops here and here. And on the other side. Yeah, you see what happened there? It's because this whole thing is one block. Stations are not separate blocks. As soon as I put a signal here, then we get a green light going to there. So I do need these. And you, for right now, just go ahead and reverse. How come I can't reverse you? Yeah, see, they're never going to move because of this blockade that's happened. Am I hitting the right train? Oh, no, I'm not. Train 15, reverse. And then reverse again. Now you'll do the right thing, which is go into this platform. So you need these signals, and you can start again. So you'll correctly wait for this guy to be out of the cross and then go. And you're going to wait for that. The problem is, if both of these... Because there's no chain signals. We need chain signals. Alright, fuck, you people. This has nothing to do with our problem. Yes, a million times yes, this cross is fucked. It has zero impact on anything that's going on with our real problem. And our real problem is 100% due to the fact that we don't have chain signals. Because here's my point. I know we're missing the rail. If I don't fix it, people are going to be fucking upset with that instead of dealing with the real problem. There's no X at all anymore. Blah, blah. Done. So now we have one-way platforms over there. It's fine. The way a chain signal would work, and this would be our problem. This signal here, and as far as I know, there's no support for it in the game. This signal should only turn green if one of these two is green. Because what's going to happen now is if we had a train in both of these, okay? Let's say we have a train on both these platforms. Both of these arrows leading into the platform are going to be green arrows. Or, sorry, going to be red. So this is going to be double red leading into the platform. I know my image here is mirrored from whatever, but you guys can see what I'm doing, right? We get double red arrows going in there. But if no one's in the X, then another train coming in from the right would see a green arrow here because the X is clear. So it would be like, oh, I can totally enter the X. And it's going to come up, and then it'll choose one of these two, arbitrarily. And it's going to park itself right here. And then the train that's on this platform won't be able to leave the platform, but because there's a train waiting to enter the platform, and they'll be stuck. Without chain signals, we can't make this work. And you guys don't see anything for train signals, right? Like... As far as I know, I can only change the direction and not the style. And yeah, even if you split the X in two, it doesn't solve the problem. Because, I mean, like, if we put signals to split the X, the same thing still happens, where a train arrives here and says, well, this length, and, you know, a little bit of the X is free. This block is free, so I can enter this block, but then this signal is red, so therefore I can't enter here, and then these two trains are screwing each other. You need to only let people... If this were Factorio, right? You can only enter this interchange if one of your exits is available. You're only allowed to enter if your exit is clear. And I don't believe there's any way to communicate that in the current version of this. Also, right now, we've got some trains that are stuck in a bunch of different places. Well, I don't know what signal you've been stopping at, but not one of these. Are you just complaining because this says you have been stuck here a long time? Because you're waiting for these whole blocks to clear up. I think we need a siding here and here near this interchange. Because otherwise people are legitimately having to spend a long time, because this is one giant block. So if there's a train anywhere along the block, including a station. Yeah, see, the stations... Well, even if a station counted as its own block, that wouldn't actually solve the problem. We need chain signals. It's actually the only solution. And I mean, I know this is still in development, but you literally can't make anything work without that. There we go. This should avoid the problem with some of these trains stopped for a long time. Although... Why'd you decide to turn around all of a sudden? I guess you just timed out? They were like, I'm stuck too long, I'm going to decide to turn around. And I mean, I know why that guy was timed out. It's perfectly legit. And then, yeah, these are still too short. So... Oops. There we go. And clear that. There you go. Make this one larger block. They won't get stuck here anymore. And also, that crossing before was not screwed up. It was working perfectly fine. It looked stupid, but it was working fine. Why can't you enter... Why do you have a red light here? This is your next block. This is red, even though this next block is completely open. Ghost train. So, I mean, I just told it to ignore the signal. The signal is still red now. Let's see what happens when this train goes through it. Does it turn green? Okay, it might have been a glitch, like a memory from before. This one's going to go here. It's going to go here. Oh, this is going to be a good example. This guy is going to go right up against one of these things. And I think we'll get another... we'll get stuck again. Depending on the order of things. Yeah, he's taken over the block. And... This is why we need a chain signal. Because I could see none of this guy's exits were fine. So apparently at some point the trains give up and then do turn around, and that'll fix something. Now Keith. No, I mean, you can't... Adding more rails. What will happen is if we had more platforms, then it would be fine. As long as you have, like, as many... If you don't have more trains than platforms, you won't run into the problem. But yeah. One-way stations, that would temporarily fix things. That is true. We could make one-way stations. That doesn't add to our capacity. There you go. Yeah. Oh, and they both time out at the same time, which would be nice if they timed out randomly, like at a different rate, because then they wouldn't have to fight. Yeah, we've got a choice here. Passenger transport. I think we're gonna end this because without the chain signals, we're not really gonna be able to do what we want. That's a damn shame. And yeah, we can totally make the signal, the station just unidirectional. But then we're not adding capacity. Other than... And actually, if we do this, then you can arrive this way, and then you can never leave unless we build turnarounds, which I guess in a realistic way we would want. And I guess that would be the thing. If we programmed things in such a way that or if we built things not assuming the instant turnaround, then you could avoid that. So I could say we could do something like this, and then... And then you can enter the X somehow. I need you to enter over here. Well, you need to end up over here. So, and then I know you're flipping out. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. Then we put a signal on here. Well, you're never... That's never going to work. You got to be like, chilled out, buddy. There you go. You need to go that way. You need to go that way. Stupid ass trains. Oh, you're reversing on a line that you're never supposed to reverse on. I don't think this train's ever going to get to go. Because he's... For some reason, he's decided to go an illegal way. Why would he do that? He probably wants to, like, turn around and go this way or some goddamn thing. Is there any way to, like, get him out of there without just bulldozing it? Not really. He is stuck forever. Awesome. But yeah, so we could do this. So you could come in one way and then loop around through the X and then go back out there. But then you're not getting station capacity. I'm not crazy, right? In OpenTTD, you've got chain signal support and you could just make this work in OpenTTD and 100% fine, right? I don't think I'm on the crack. Yeah, we could just have them ignore the next signal and then the one after that. So ignore the next signal and ignore the next one after that, and then you'll be okay. There we go. Oh, you don't actually have to go here. I lied. So next time you decide to come to Gloucester, you're gonna... Can't just blow up a train, can you? What's your problem? Why are you doing this? I want to just blow up a train, for crying out loud. Where are you even trying to go? Trying to go over there. Why would you do this? Oh, I gotta tell this guy to ignore the next signal again. And the next one. Okay. So you're gonna drop off, and then you're gonna take the turnaround. So then you're okay because we can't end up with a deadlock going in here, but there's no reason. You should be able to use these as two-sided tracks, and you're gonna be fine. He wouldn't even develop for over 10 years, so the signal system should be more robust. And I mean, the same thing is sort of true, but the thing is, if you're making a train game, the first thing you should have is support for chain signals. Those are the basics. And the chain signal is very simple. Like, normal signal and chain signal are both, is the next block empty? Yes. The difference with the chain signal is the next block and the next block empty? Then I'm green. And that's literally it. So, I don't want to have to, like, design this crap everywhere. Although I guess if we did turn off turning... No, but there's still a problem with capacity. I would like my trains to be able to choose any platform regardless of direction. And then, you know, when they exit, have an option for a turnaround somewhere. So basically, in each one of these little X's, one of the X options... Actually, that would be the way to do it. In each X, one of the X options is going to be the turnaround. There you go. So it's not this. So from any platform, you have the option of going east or turning around and re-entering the X over here. That would ultimately be the way to do it. But you still need chain signals so that your platforms are not one-sided. Because that's what I would want. That way, no matter if you're going east or west, you can use any platform you want. And then when you leave the station, regardless, you have the option to do a turnaround in, you know, sort of a sexy and reasonable way. We'd have to make these X's a little bit bigger, because really what we want is from this area over here is the turnaround point. So I guess what we would do here is put the one-way like that and move this signal that way. And then you got to come in right over there, so you've got your choice of whatever. I mean, didn't you end up, like, making way too much, but it's, I guess, fine. There you go. Oh, he'll be okay. But I still want these stations to work on both sides. And if we were to dual side these guys now, we would still end up with the bottleneck. Although ultimately this, I guess, is better for a full station with the turnaround if you've got the strict realism laws on. But I still want both platforms to work. And right now it would, because imagine... So right now, imagine you were a train traveling east, you pulled into this station, and then you leave, and you go, you cross over here, and you do this. Or you're traveling east, and this platform is free, you pull in here, and you want to be able to go that way. Like, I want all platforms to be available both directions, but we'll see how it goes. So we do have, like, this double bow tie, and that will, you know, function over here. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Fixing the crossovers, fix everything. We do want to make sure there's a train link between them. That doesn't fix the problem. That fixes all problem. Like, we had one issue over here where things were bottlenecking because they were too close to one another. So, again, it fixes all problem, but it's not the ultimate thing. Nope, you need another signal over here. And the direction of the signal ultimately doesn't matter, because really there's only one way you could legally end up in there, but there we go. Same thing here. Here it's just more signals means less waiting time. But there we go. No Sunday Morning Heroes tomorrow. It's going to be a solo stream for Briarstone. Roundabouts, I don't think roundabouts are a thing you tend to do in actual railways. I think mostly because it would take up a lot of space. Although, as a big central interchange, it might actually be super viable. But they would have to be the roundabout would have to be big enough because of the train lengths. If the roundabout's like too tight, then a train could be overlapping multiple signals in there, and that would be wonky. So I know we have a bunch of trains stuck because of like a million things that I've done in a million different places. Oh, are you guys confused over here? Yeah, see, here's, again, the problem in that, well, this is because they were too close together. Because we sort of need a second signal over here, but it's not, it is too tight. And this one here is wonky because there's, it's too short. If we got rid of the crossover, though, because we don't actually need this one at all, then all of a sudden we're okay. Then we also don't need as many signals here. But again, the core problem is we do need the other things. So how much time are trains waiting over here? See here, like, it's working really well. Trains are using either platform really well because our train density is not actually that high. Although it is certainly possible for a train to get stuck. And these notices have to go away after a while because they stay around way too long. And a lot of them are kind of obsolete things. I never got the foundry set up, but I think that's going to be okay. We're going to be wrapping this up here. And yeah, we are running into the problem where 90% of the comments in Twitch chat are being mostly contradictory and mostly wrong as well about the problem. You know, it's not because it's two lanes into one that it's causing an issue. Here, the problem was that they were too short, as well as ultimately we'd still want a signal here. What we would really want, like with, because we're gonna want to support multiple platforms here, because you can see Stoke is like way over capacity at 1,000. So again, we would want multiple trains to come in here and service Stoke. And it would still mean we would want a signal letting people in and out of each platform, and that would have to be connected to a chain signal on the other side of a big interchange. So what we want for like huge stations, right? Imagine you've got a big station, and like makes sense to terminal stations. What you have to remember with a lot of games is like with the rail, you can imagine it's an abstraction for some of the turnarounds, right? So let's say we had a huge station out over here, and with like many different things. You know, something crazy. Achievement unlocked. Where should I turn now? And we have our 2 lanes of traffic. Right? Oh, because I clicked on a weird spot. Right? And we have something like this with the direction. And assuming I don't want anything to be locked to a specific direction because I want to use all of them as much as possible. What you don't want is you don't want a bunch of eastbound trains waiting for a couple of platforms here. I guess the eastbound trains would be waiting down here while the other platforms are empty. Like, use them all. Yeah, it's very easy to just be like, okay, well, eastbound trains only use this. And then the westbound trains only use those 2. That would be super easy. But doesn't use your whole productivity. So what we want is some option whereby... I don't know why it's splitting in different places. I guess, oh, it's probably because I was drawing them for different sides. You know, we want trains on any platform to be able to go to either one there. And likewise, to be able to end up feeding in. So we have this interchange, this 2x4, and I want each one of these to be bidirectional lines. That's what I want, bidirectional, so that you can use any platform. Now, what you have to do is you have to enforce the directionality of the bits over here. Right? That's fine. And then what you want to do is be able to do this. So, listen, you can drive on any direction over here. Only 1 train's allowed in this entire block at a time. And that's like golden. Boom. Lots of space, so that, you know, train length is not a problem. Only 1 train is allowed in this block. If you go a little more sophisticated with a little bit more signaling in the X, maybe more than 1 train can somehow be inside of this X block at a time. But ultimately, that's fine. 1 train allowed. It can be going east or west. It doesn't matter. Any train going east or west can use any of the 4 platforms and either of the 2 exits. I mean, we still might want to do turnarounds for realism, but that doesn't, like, you know, change anything. Like, we could turn around through another platform or turn around into the X, which actually I think would be what you would probably do, is you would have something like this. Yeah, obviously it doesn't make sense for some of the direction. Well, not necessarily. So trains coming in will take any available one, and then they'll leave this way, or, you know, or it's connected to, like, there's even more shit out here, right? We've got some other thing over here, whatever. But I still want to be able to use trains. Trains coming in from here or trains coming in from here. Ignore the fact that we don't have an X over there. Can use either station. And the simple way to do it is if this only turns green when one of these exits is green. That's it. That's what we want. This would need to be a one-way that goes like that. So when one of these is green, that turns green. That's what we want that to work. We don't want to let a train come in here and then end up standing here and waiting because you block the entire X. And you need train signals. Done. So you can work around it with one-way platforms, but that's stupid because you don't get your whole capacity. So even if you have the turning around, like, turned off in the new game, you still don't get to use what you really want. So, boom. And to answer the questions, because we're wrapping this up here, if I go back to, is this the main menu button? Yeah, I need tooltips on these buttons. It's fine, it's still early. I think there's no excuse for not having the chain signals, but everything else is pretty legit. In advanced over here, you can turn off things. The ability to reverse at stop signals. Oh, actually, we can't turn it off right now. We can't turn off reversing on stations. We can turn off reversing at end of the line, which actually is disabled right now. Yeah. So clearly this will come. Just too early, I guess, for this. I don't think it's too early for chain signals. If we go to, like, hard difficulty over here. Oh, hold on. Okay, I can't set it to custom. On hard... Oh, what it's doing on easy, I guess on hard, if the hill's too steep, the train will stop and then have to turn around, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, only one depot option. That's sick. Like, none of these settings set that, but that's like a hint for later, which actually I think is a great idea because it'll force you right from the start to think about your settings a lot more. I like that. So even on hard, it doesn't set these right now. This clearly will come, but there we go. I also think there might need to be a little bit of performance optimization at the biggest map size. There's this placeholder for terrain as well, so presumably there'll be, you know, like that sort of pastoral green stuff and maybe like more hilly or tundra or desert terrain. I don't know. I like the density settings. That's quite cool too. Oh, there's still preview here too. Lots of lakes so that you can buzz around things. Lots of mountainous hills. Anyway, I'm very much looking forward to playing this in the future. But I didn't realize it wasn't... the dev is here. Cool. Which one is the dev? I'm not dissatisfied with the game at all. I am dissatisfied that more sophisticated signaling wasn't in at the initial release. Because to me, it seems like something that needs to be there. But I'm really looking forward to playing more of the game. Hello, Jan. Sorry I'm pooping about the lack of chain signals. I mean, and it's entirely possible I'm still missing something. But yeah, I feel like there needs to be that thing that looks ahead to the next one. Excellent! Jan, I will probably start Let's Playing this game as soon as you have the chain signal in there. Groovy. Groovy, groovy, groovy. Mostly I'm ranting about it because people in chat are convinced that there's some other thing that I was doing inherently wrong. And I'm like, no, I'm not inherently wrong. And yes, there are ways to work around it. But I'm like, I'm bitter. I'm like having to prove my point. I'm not inherently wrong. There's the thing that should exist. So there we go. But it is 3 p.m. And that's 3 hours of single player stuff. If you were just here for the single player, hey, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the look at Frostpunk, which looks phenomenal. Hope you enjoyed the greater and more extended look at Mashinky, which is also super cool. I haven't tried the world editor. Does that think that's actually built in? Oh, shit. I assumed that wasn't in here yet. I guess you can, like, just make all your hills and stuff. Hey, can you plop down cities? Or, oh, the cities are probably just procedurally generated. That's cool. Autosave. I bet you this isn't all the way there. I guess it's kind of a sandboxy play, actually, I just realized. Like, you can just make all your stations and route some trains around just to have them choo-choo around. That's kind of nifty. I suspect there's probably more coming there. Boom, 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 boom. And people were asking about multiplayer. So, I mean, can't comment on it yet, but it is clearly planned. And I also like the placeholder for the extensions and mods right away. That'll be nice. As well, because any sort of sim, tycoon, building games, all those seem to like live and die based on modability. So keeping that in mind right from the start is going to be very nice. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I got frustrated most by the chat. If I was playing this in, like, just as a YouTube thing, I'd be like, oh, it doesn't have this in here yet. That's too bad because of this. I wouldn't have gone on like a 20-minute rant about it. Mostly just like, no, I have to prove to chat that I am right.